And we're live. Yo, yo, yo. And hello from our brand new office here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I'm here with Cole today. Same thing as last month. I don't know. I just like doing these with Cole, and I'm getting the opportunity to do them in person with Cole this month as well. So yeah, a lot of fun. And of course, we haven't seen you since last year, so happy new year from the Bindplane team. And yeah, thank you for being part of the community. Yet another year. As always, I'm Adnan. I do all things developer relations here. I'm your host for yet another community call. Yeah, Cole here is from the engineering team, and he's going to show us some really, really cool features that we have actually released since December. Yeah, Cole, you can go ahead and do an introduction, or customary introduction.
Yes, so I'm a software engineer here at Bindplane, and I'm native to the community this area. And yeah, it's nice to be here in person, especially not all the way from Europe. And yeah, we're happy to have it.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. We do have a secret. I'm gonna say secret. Well, special guest that's gonna pop in a bit. But before we do all of that, let's just jump through the basics. Well, the basics, the usuals, so to say, of what we usually do every community call every month. So as always, we're gonna do a quick one-on-one. We're going to jump into some hot topics, and by we, it's mainly going to be Cole jumping into some hot topics. Uh, we're also going to do a quick, brief update for specifically the product updates, and then of course we'll talk about some integrations. Now, the integrations, though, is going to be a bit of a fun one because we've been. Oh, thank you. I just needed a charger. That's going to be the fun ones because we're going to talk a bit more about the partner integrations that we've been doing since December. Now, let's just jump into the Bindplane 101 for all of our new community members and anybody that you haven't been, or if you haven't been to any of these community calls before. So what is Bindplane? It's an open telemetry, native telemetry pipeline. So what does that mean? We collect, process, and export telemetry from any source to any destination. That's more or less the gist of it. But what does that mean specifically? Well, we do enterprise scale collector management. So Bindplane is just a control plane that manages all of your collectors. We can run and manage 1 million plus collectors. So you get high availability and you can set that up super, super easy. This generally means that you can get up to or even above 50% cost reduction just because you get visual routing. You have a really easy way to set up configs, and you can set up processors visually without needing to do some nitty gritty YAML because everybody loves YAML. Nobody, nobody likes YAML. But yeah, go. So what does that mean for the architecture specifically? So for specifically the architecture, we manage and configure OTel, specifically OTel collectors via op-amp. So it's just a control plane. It is not required for telemetry flow. So you can set up either the BDOT, which is the custom collector that we manage internally at Bindplane, which is just a fork of the contrib collector anyway. Essentially the same thing, just with a bit of magic sprinkled on top. And you can also run custom collectors. We have a BYOC, well, bring your own collector, released last year, so you can run and build your own collectors. You can run collectors as gateways or agents. We'd make it super simple to set up either as agent mode or as gateway mode. And of course, you can use the cloud version, you can use the self-hosted version, and of course, it's 100% vendor agnostic, whatever you choose. Now, let's talk a bit about the network diagram as well, specifically what it looks like for you and your network and how Bindplane communicates with that. The center part here is your network, and that's where all of your collectors run. So on the left side is the control plane. The collectors communicate with the control plane via op-amps. It's a specific protocol that the OpenTelemetry community is building that communicates via a WebSocket connection that is opened from the inside out. So the firewall here, you don't really need to think about that too much, just because the WebSocket from the collector contacts Bindplane, then that socket stays open. But yeah, specifically here in the middle, if you're looking at the Bindplane collectors and the OpenTelemetry collectors, the only real thing that you need to think about here is that they have the op-amp extension built into them, which essentially means that that's what enables this communication back and forth. The B dot collector, so the Bindplane collector, was the first one that introduced this. Now, this is getting built into the contrib collector as well, and we're hoping very soon to get that to a state where you can also just use the OpenTelemetry contrib collector with Bindplane out of the box. So one important thing here is that all of the data flows through your collectors. It never flows specifically through Bindplane. So you can take Bindplane away. It's still your collectors are still going to work just fine. And some more things that is quite important to remember is that these specific ports you need for networking wise for it to work is that if you're running Bindplane Cloud is all on 443, so it's just a TLS port. If you're running the self-hosted version, then of course you're going to be running it on 3001. Just some cool little things, and for you guys to understand the networking behind it. Now, with all of that out of the way, I think we can jump into the real fun stuff for this community call. So we're gonna have Cole talk a bit more about some nice hot topics.
Yeah, there's been a few new things we've introduced to Bindplane in the recent month. We want to kind of show you out today, and I'm here to help demo. Seeing kind of a few major releases, mainly because of the feedback I got from SSPs. And Bindplane now features Permalinks, which is a new way to navigate around Bindplane, which is a much needed quality of life update. We also have a new and expanded in-app support page and a brand new guided onboarding experience when you sign up with a brand new organization in Bindplane Cloud. So let me show you this new features in a quick demo. So here's the Bindplane you're all familiar with. What you may have noticed if you're using Bindplane Cloud in recent weeks is that there's a new parameter here in the URLs. The URLs have gotten a bit more complex, and that's allowed us to implement Permalinks through Bindplane. So similar to various other cloud apps, if you navigate to like a certain configuration, let's say maybe our workstation's configuration here in our demo project, we navigate right to a processor node so we can see a snapshot of our telemetry. The URL has a few more parameters in it that uniquely identify this exact experience in the UI. So that if I copy this link, I go to a new tab, and if I log into Bindplane, I paste the link, and it'll bring me right to the exact processor node that I was already clicked on. It already showed me the exact telemetry that I need. And this allows for project-specific navigation, all the way down to the exact node and configuration like I showed here. So for those who have more complicated setups with various organizations, various projects, lots of configurations, lots of different nodes, it's hard to exactly pinpoint, hey, can you look at this node, this resource on this configuration in this project? You have to switch through all the projects, find the exact configuration. And this is much easier with Bindplane Permalinks, and it allows anybody who has access to a certain resource to link and share that link to other people who have access to that resource in order to directly navigate there with one simple click and one paste. So we're excited about this. It's going to be a nice quality of life improvement for those who have multiple projects, multiple orgs, especially when we're helping support and look through your resources for you. So yeah, the same thing can happen with a source like this. We have a Windows event source. If I copy this link and go to a new page, paste it in, it'll take me right to that source. And this works whether I'm switched onto the correct project of my projects, or if I'm already in the one that already exists, it works just like that. So there's lots of nice quality of life improvements there. We're excited for you to help use them throughout the experience with Bindplane. And exactly some new support setting, what we're calling it, is that if you click on this little question mark down on the bottom right of any page of Bindplane, it now takes you to the support page. And this will have all sorts of information that will help us support you, as well as some self-enablement resources that you have previously access to, some documentation, ways to email us, chat with us, additionally, and export configurations down here in the bottom left. And we have a few sample CLI commands that we're going to iterate and some more too. So all sorts of different ways for us to just streamline our support process and make things easier for both us and you when you're trying to get help with your Bindplane. So if you go over to your new onboarding experience when you have a new organization, better experience for people who are reading to Bindplane. They don't know how to install an agent, how to create configuration, how to associate that and roll it out. All these sorts of steps that you kind of had to read the documentation or get some commands on or now built into Bindplane. We have a step by step. Right here on how to install an agent, how to open the installer. You can do that in the flow. It'll help you set up a configuration, start getting your team integrated, manage all sorts of things, and then finally roll out to the agent and get the full Bindplane experience of actually managing your pipeline. So yeah, these are all three new features that we've introduced to Bindplane Cloud. They'll be in the next Bindplane self-hosted release as well. And we're excited to have everybody try them and testing them out and see new quality of life all across the app.
Sweet, sweet. Yeah, this specifically the permalinks with a lot of the customers and MSSPs have been asking for this. I mean, we're at this point now we're getting more and more customers across organizations that they want they just have different needs. They have to have multiple projects for multiple, let's say, customers or whatever environments that they're running. It's just a need where they don't really want to have to click through different menus to get for to a specific project for a specific customer that they wanna get to. So I think that's really awesome that the engineering team, the product engineering team, set this up as a priority and have that out now. Cool, 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 cool. Yeah, let's jump over really quickly to right here, and let's talk a bit about partners. Now, since December, we have two brand new partner integrations. So we've worked closely with ClickStack, our friends over at ClickHouse that are building ClickStack, and we've worked with the team over at Oodle AI. Now, specifically for these two partner integrations, we've set up dedicated native integrations, specifically destinations for both of them. And if you want to check out the documentation to set that up for yourself, if you're using either ClickStack, ClickHouse, or Oodle AI, you have the documentation set up there, and you can read the full announcements as well if you want to check those out to learn more about the benefits of using either them themselves or, of course, using Bindplane as an integration with either of them. You have access to the slide deck and all the links within in the Google Calendar event. So you can just click through, open up, and look at the links. Specifically, I do want to introduce a friend of ours, a secret guest, so to say. But we have with us today, we have Sai from the founding team over at Oodle AI to just hang out. We're gonna talk a bit about the integration, talk a bit about how their AI native observability works, and it's a bit of a foreshadowing of what we have going on at Bindplane and what we're going to be releasing within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, hey Sai, feel free to introduce yourself and yeah, how's it going today?
Hey Adnan and Cole, thanks for having me here, and it's great meeting the Bindplane community. So I am Sai, and I belong to the founding team at Oodle AI. We are based out of Bay Area, and let me give a quick intro. Would you mind sharing my screen, Adnan?
For sure. Let me go ahead and pull that in right here.
All right, so we are the AI native observability platform that provides enterprise grade observability at open source cost. I know a bunch of buzzwords, but what does exactly AI native mean? So with Oodle, you can just talk to your logs, metrics, and traces in plain English. So when something breaks, you describe what you're seeing and you ask simple questions like you would ask in Slack to a teammate. Oodle pulls the relevant logs, correlates the traces, surfaces any anomalies. So essentially, it's cursor-like debugging experience for production systems. And yeah, it helps engineers go from, say, from the alert firing to understanding the root cause and impact to opening a PR within minutes. And this is not a North Star. We are doing it today, and it's happening in production. And we built our observability architecture ground up, making it 3 to 5 times cheaper than any legacy platforms and following open standards. Would you mind changing the slide, Adnan?
1 second.
Okay, yeah.
1 second. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So, yeah, so why does this matter? So, for Oodle users, Bindplane gives enterprise grade pipeline controls. We can mask PII, enrich telemetry, and enforce compliance policies. It's not fun, but Bindplane makes that easy. Now, coming for Bindplane users, they're already thinking about where the telemetry goes and how much it costs to reduce the costs, and that usually means today you're dropping data or are archiving it to S3, and it's gone, and or you're archiving it, so you're rehydrating it at 2 a.m. when something's on fire. So Oodle gives a third option. It's cheap enough to be a destination for data and that you'd otherwise drop, and you can still query it instantly, use AI to get insights, no rehydration required, and even anything that you need for long-term compliance stays searchable and not buried in some cold storage. Now that's a quick version. I'll hand it off to Adnan. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.
Yeah, I think this is awesome. What I do want to take a moment to talk about here is specifically the nativity of this integration. Specifically, I mean, both for ClickHouse and for Oodle AI. Uh, the way you set this up is there is not a lot of thinking that you have to do. It's as with any destination within Bindplane, it is a click and go. So if you want to set up Oodle AI, you add a destination, you point it to your Oodle instance name and your token, which is quite literally, if I open up my Oodle account, I just jump into the settings, I select open telemetry, and I get these values right here. So it's not even a 2 minute process. You're just kind of copy paste, you're done to go. And then of course, if you actually want to see what's happening within your Oodle account, you can do that as well. It's it's as real time as it gets. So I was really happy to see this. And then the experience for ClickStack is essentially the same. Once you run your ClickStack instance, you just really need the API ingestion key, which you can get, of course, from your ClickStack instance right here. You just copy the ingestion key. You're done. You're ready to go. And just like that, you have data flowing through Bindplane, through your collectors, managed with however many collectors you want or you need, getting into your destinations. And yeah, we're super happy that we're building these out. We have a bunch more planned for the next month or so. We just want to make it as easy as possible for you to get data in to whatever system you're using. Doesn't matter if it's one, if it's multiple. We just want to make it as easy as possible to get data flowing. So yeah, with that, I think we can jump right back into the slides. Just we're at 19 minutes, so we have a couple of minutes for Q&A. The team here at Bindplane, we like keeping these short as possible because we want to stay respectful of people's time. Also, if anybody's outside of the US time zones, it's after work for you. So I'd rather not spend more of your time than we really need. Yeah, if cool. If we don't have too many questions, I think we can give that time back. Sweet. Sai, thank you so much for joining us this time. Yeah, I hope we can get the opportunity to do a joint workshop, talk a bit more about these AI native features coming within the next couple of months, hopefully next month. But yeah, and as a last recap, we have Permalinks, new support, guided onboarding, and we have two brand new partner integrations. Much more of that to come next month. And until then, from myself and Cole, peace. Thanks. Bye bye.